How modern should Halo Infinite be, and what does modern even mean in this context? I really have no idea. I mean, what really is the secret to making a good Halo game? There's always going to be a very fragile balance between pleasing longtime fans and giving newcomers a reason to be excited for the game. You have to remember, not everybody was a massive Halo 3 fan back in 2007, and it does make sense for 343 to design a game that might be people's first Halo game. There are objectively modern elements that make games more appealing these days to both young and old gamers alike. New movement systems, weapons, gimmicks, and so on. But it is funny to me when people say something like, sprinting is a modern game mechanic, when that mechanic is really old, but it's just simply at odds with Halo's OG design. But does it have to be, and how does skill fit into this topic? Well, in regards to sprinting specifically, sprinting is something that most people have come to expect from modern video games, with good reason. And as much as I hate to make this comparison, in real life, changing the speed of your movement is sort of an integral, everyday thing. So when a game makes you move at only one speed, it can be jarring to say the least, and telling somebody that it balances the game or it makes you learn positioning faster doesn't really go over well, especially when the person that you're talking to is used to making their character run in just about every other single game. And we can't just copy the Doom 2016 Doom Eternal movement here, because that would bring us closer to Quake territory, and we're going for a Halo vibe here, so no moving at Mach 10 all the time. But when someone asks, you can sprint in Persona 5, like why can't my super soldier run away from danger in Halo? It's a valid question. So maybe Halo Sprint should be, I don't know, loud, limited, not ideal for gunfights due to longer sprint out times? I don't know, don't listen to me, I just implied that Persona fans would play Halo, I must be crazy. Look, technically speaking, adding more complex movement also adds to the overall skill gap, but that isn't always a good thing. Yes, the more you have to learn, the more time it'll take to learn it, and the gap between a good player and a shit poopy player is a lot more noticeable. On the other hand, adding more mechanics into your sandbox can also make a game just feel chaotic and less refined overall. It almost gives the impression that the devs don't know how to make a robust, solid shooter that feels consistent on its own, without a bunch of movement gimmicks or just other gimmicks in general. Sometimes it feels like the difference between rugby and chess. Adding subtle things to an existing formula can be welcoming, whereas drastically changing the formula can alienate a lot of fans. The truth is, some people just want a video game that's robust, down-to-earth, refined, and other fancy terms to describe something that's simple, yet confident in itself. In older Halo games, the movement was slow, but the gameplay wasn't because of the way the sandbox was designed. Feeling like a versatile god wasn't Bungie's motivation when developing the original Halo games. The sandbox, including things like jump pads, vehicles, power weapons, equipment, nades, those things add to the gameplay loop simply because of the fact that because of those things, each player at any given time wants something and has to go get it. Do you want the power drain? Do you want the shotgun? Do you want to use the lift with the mongoose? You have to go get all of those things. You have to go to those places. And think of this, when you're slower, getting to a power weapon or a health pickup is something that takes a lot more thought compared to just darting around the map like a madman without penalty. That without penalty part is what I think most people want to avoid when it comes to Halo Infinite. The Halo 3 battle rifle had bullet travel time, and so looking for a better long-range weapon around the map was encouraged if you were fighting past medium range. The plasma rifle was bad at killing, but was a really good shield stripper, which would leave an opponent open to a nade or a melee or a more precision weapon shot to the head. Same goes for the assault rifle. The Halo Reach DMR is really good in TU if you pace your shots, but because of that bloom, you'd be better off looking for some other weapons around the map depending on the situation. Yes, I know this is a sore spot for a lot of people, but I really didn't mind it. And like I said, when you're slower, getting to those weapons and exploring the map for those things is going to require a lot more thought, some planning, and maybe, God forbid, a little bit of tactics. I think the secret to making a good Halo game is just not making the player feel too self-reliant. When a player can move really fast and their starting weapon is really versatile, they have less reasons to interact with the map and the sandbox. So, as long as I feel like Halo Infinite motivates me to interact with the sandbox often, and the game doesn't crush itself under its own mechanical weight, leading to a messy and convoluted game, then it'll feel just like classic Halo to me. I want to thank Spartacus on Twitter for giving me the idea for this commentary, and I want to let you guys know that I live stream on this channel, Halo, Call of Duty. I want to start playing some more Battlefield soon because I have lost all my Battlefield skills and I want to get better. So if you guys want to subscribe for FPS content, rants, tangents, and my podcast, which will be starting up again soon, then yeah, subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notified when I upload and go live. And yeah, there's some links in the description that helps out the channel. I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.